Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rise of Faith. By far one of the most popular courses that we have in Al-Maghrib Institute. And definitely it is one of my favorite courses. Not only because it's about the subject that I'm specialized in, which is Aqidah, and it falls under the department of Aqidah. No, but it's about really the topics that I cover in this course. It's not a secret or anything, but I just want to share this personal thing about this course with you. Every time I get, oh, Shahoid, we schedule you to teach Rise of Faith, I said, Alhamdulillah, it really came the right time. Because this course is the course that really raised my Iman up. It's the course where after each time I teach this course, especially the subject of Qadar, I always feel I'm closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm a better Muslim. And wallahi, I mean each and every word that I'm saying to you today. Because this course talking about connecting you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, they say seeing is believing, but I believe faith is to believe of the unseen. In this course, it truly will touch the basics aspect of our belief. And we will not only talk a general talk, no, we will go in details. We will discuss so many details related to the principles of Iman. Because the more you talk about these issues, the more detail you go, the more yaqeen you will have in your heart, certainty you will have in your heart. So many people always say, oh, I'm afraid to go in details in Aqidah. You know what? You should be afraid to speak in details in Aqidah if you're going to approach Aqidah in a philosophical approach, or the approach of Ahlul Kalam, or the way innovators approach the Aqidah. But the way the early Muslim scholars approach Aqidah, the way the Prophet ﷺ addressed the issue of Aqidah, the way the companions addressed the issue of the Aqidah, the way the Imams, the great Imams of Islam talked about the issue of Aqidah, will not do anything but increase your Iman. It will not do anything but making you, inshallah, a perfect mu'min. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the people of the Day of Judgment that none of them survive except those who إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهِ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Those who will come with a pure heart. And when the ulama, the mufassirin, the scholars of Tafsir talked about this verse, they said the people who have a correct belief. أهل السنة والجماعة وإن قعدت بهم أعمالهم يوم القيامة قامت بهم عقائدهم. The people of Ahl Sunnah in the Day of Judgment, even if they don't have maybe so much of a good deeds, but their aqidah, their good belief, their correct belief will raise their level up. Versus those who had a corrupt belief, even if they come with so much good deeds, their corrupt belief will bring them down. So I am asking you to join me in this course to discover and to explore a very unique aspect of the word of the unseen. We'll talk about the angels. Who are the angels? And why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them. What kind of role they play in the universe. And what kind of role they play in your life. You know, when the angels pray for you, when the angels love you, how that makes you feel. You know, I'm recently started engaging on Facebook. I would like you to join my page too. But recently I'm engaging in Facebook. You don't know how much I feel happy when I post something beneficial and I see a lot of people say, like it, like it, like it, like it. How would you feel? You have like 1,000 people liking it, your post. Can you imagine that there is out there 100,000 angels liking it, your action? And they say, we like it, we love it. How it makes you feel when you know that the angel is so proud of what you just did? What are the angels that will make what are the actions that will make angels liking you? Talk about jinn, that scary, taboo kind of subject that people, you know, want to talk about it. Don't talk about jinn because they might come to you. You know, the good news is jinn with you all the time. And the bad news is that so many of us don't know how to protect themselves from the shayateen of the jinn. And that's something we'll talk about. We'll talk about the shaitan. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him, and why Allah granted him this prolonged life, what he used to be and what he is going to be. Can he be a Muslim? Can shaitan convert to Islam? Can you give da'wah to a jinn? You know, some interesting discussion. We'll talk about jinn as well. Also, I would like to, yes, jinn, by the way, is not one of the pillars of Iman, but because it's a part of the unseen world, we talk about it after we talk about angels, because some people mixed between angels and jinn, like, for example, Christians. So we will shed some light on this issue and discuss it briefly, inshallah ta'ala. What other peoples believe about jinn and angels. The prophets and the messengers that Allah have sent. Who are they? I'm not going to talk about the life of the prophets because I guess it has its own special course, but I talk about it as a theologian. I'll talk about it from a theology perspective. For what are the basic principles, beliefs that you should be associated with believing in the book, in believing in the messengers and the prophets that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have sent. You'll be amazed, especially by the chapter related to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's prophethood. How can you prove to someone that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a prophet? How can you prove that to someone? That's a big question. You need to be ready for it. And inshallah, my course will definitely make you ready to win this debate. Also, believing in the books that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. When you say books, it means that Allah revealed it like a written format? What the word kitab means? What are the books that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have sent? And what is our position from the remaining books today, like the Torah, the Injil? We'll come to explore the opinions of two groups of scholars. One who in the farther side left, who said that there's nothing in these books today from Allah. It's completely changed, which is an opinion adopted by Ibn Hazm, and I think it's an extreme opinion. But in the other side, you will see some of Ahlul Hadith, and the biggest name I can mention now will be Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, and others who said, you know what, the Torah, there is nothing changed in it. It's exactly the same way Allah revealed it. Why would he say that? How would he deal with some issues in the Torah that it will contradict, for example, what we have in our book? This is a very interesting debate. We'll see how Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah have come up with a kind of middle ground between these two opinions. We will talk about issues related to the al-Qadr, which is faith, Iman, part of our Iman. You will not be a believer until you believe in al-Qadr and the good of it and whatever bad happened to you, that all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll talk about 9 principles that govern and guide you to study and to understand the subject in a way that I will guarantee you it will only make you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more. We will talk about the hereafter, the day of judgment, the sign of the day of judgment, the major signs. We'll talk about the last breath that you will have in this dunya. Will transfer you from the world of the seen to the world of the unseen. What will happen to your soul after death? Where your soul going to be? Is it going to be in earth or somewhere else? We're going to talk about the resurrection day, the day that you will come out from your grave. I want you to know from now what exactly will happen tomorrow, because maybe this knowledge will help you to prepare yourself today. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا يجمع الله في قلب مؤمن خوفين. Allah will never ever let you have 2 fears in your heart. What he means by that, he explained that by himself. He said, I meant the fear, if you fear the day of judgment today, you will not fear it tomorrow. You will be safe and secure tomorrow. If you ready for this day, now, I guarantee you, inshallah, that you will be able to pass this day tomorrow safe. Because if you do so, you are among the winners. فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ. Those who will be saved from the hellfire and enter Jannah, they are the real winner. When we talk about the day of judgment, I'll talk about the stages that you're going to go through in the day of judgment. Approaching the pool, approaching the sirat, approaching the qantara, all the way until I walk you inside Jannah. Then I leave you there, and that will mark the end of my course. I'm really excited about this course and looking forward to see you with me in the course, inshallah ta'ala. I'm really excited about this course, and I'm looking forward to see you in the class to cover these aspects and cover the subject and to have very beneficial hours and days, inshallah, together.